How you going, guys? This is hopefully going to be a brief and comprehensive video because I keep getting questions from a subscriber in my email. He's new to Advaita Vedanta and I truly love all these questions. So I thought I'll make a quick video for him and for anyone else new to these teachings. Let's sum up these teachings of Advaita Vedanta very briefly to the best of my ability. What is Advaita Vedanta saying? To sum it up in one sentence, Brahman is real, the world is an appearance. An appearance of what? Of Brahman. Now, what is Brahman? Brahman doesn't exist. Brahman is pure existence itself. Everything that we experience exists. It has objective qualities, but Brahman has non-objective qualities, pure existence itself. And this world is an appearance in Brahman and made from it. That's why when people say, the world is a dream, it's an illusion, it's an appearance. How do I know people are conscious? This is not what Advaita Vedanta is saying. I won't get into those teachings of Mitya in this video, but basically, here's the best way to view this. Picture Brahman like a movie screen without dimensions. The nature of reality is just pure screen without dimensions. In the beginning, before the Big Bang, what existed? Brahman, a blank screen. At a certain point, when the Big Bang happened, this reality emerged. It emerged from the screen, in quotes, and is made from the screen, in quotes. If you can see why I keep saying in quotes, it's because this is the limitations of language. We're trying to talk about something with non-objective qualities through objective language. But in any case, there's a blank screen, appears to be nothing happening on it, and then out of the screen emerges a world. Or more correctly, what emerges from this screen? A conscious entity called God. This conscious entity pervades the entire screen, has infinite objective qualities. This is why in Advaita Vedanta they talk about Brahman with nirguna, no qualities, and saguna, infinite qualities. Nirguna Brahman and saguna Brahman. So basically, there's a blank screen. Out of this blank screen emerges a conscious entity called God. Now this conscious entity, God, pervades the entire screen, has the ability to create, sustain, and destroy worlds. It can create worlds, it can create entities such as us, and has the ability to destroy them. What material is this world made out of? God. What's sustaining it? God. What's controlling it? God. But more accurately, what is it all made from? Brahman, the screen. It's only ever pure screen. And that's a paradoxical nature of reality. In this example, imagine there's an entity called us, called you. You're this little entity with objective qualities. Now there's a super entity called God. When we do self-inquiry, what do we discover? When we do regular self-inquiry, we realize I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm pure consciousness. If God was to do self-inquiry, this conscious entity, what would God come to realize? God's essential nature is pure consciousness. Or in this screen example, if I was to do self-inquiry, or you, what will we come up with? I'm not this body, I'm not this mind. My pure essence is screen. If God was to do self-inquiry, he's not this mighty body, he's not this mighty mind. What's his true essence? Screen. So at the level of ultimate reality, our pure nature is screen, and so is God's. But at the level of the movie, God's a super entity, the power to create, sustain, and destroy worlds, to alter the movie how he chooses. We're just a small entity. So from the level of the movie, we're a little character, God's a big character. But at the level of the screen, God and ourselves are coming from the one source. This is summed up so beautifully in the Ramayana, when Rama, an incarnation of God, asked Hanuman, the monkey god, how do you see me, Hanuman? Hanuman's answer is so beautiful. He said, when I identify as the body, I'm the servant, you are the master. When I identify as the soul, I am a part, you are the whole. When I identify as my true self, you and me are one. See the multi-levels of this teaching and how it's paradoxical in nature. This is what Advaita Vedanta is saying. Your essence your source, what you truly are, is Brahman. If God was to appear to you right now, a massive entity that had the ability to control things, destroy people and things, super entity, someone you would not want to get on their bad side. If God did self-inquiry, what's his pure essence? The screen, in this screen example, or pure consciousness in this reality. So the ground of your being and God's being are one. But don't get it twisted. You aren't God and God isn't you. At the level of the movie, God's a figure that we should devote and surrender to. But the very nature of us and God is Brahman, conscious existence, infinite and eternal conscious existence. And that's where many people leave it. I did for the longest time. I thought, okay, my true self is Brahman. What's all this devotion for? Why? Because reality is paradoxical in nature. You need to be able to hold two things true at the same time. It's like this. If you've ever seen this picture, it's called the old woman, young woman illusion. If you look at this one way, it's an old woman with a shawl over her head with a big nose. If you look at it the other way, it's a young woman with her head turned to the side. If you can see both, notice how you can flip between the two. So what is it really? Is it the old woman or young woman? It's neither and both. And to take it a step further, show this image to a dog or a cat, they'll just see squiggly lines, or who knows what they'll see. That's just to show you the nature of reality is pure consciousness, pure truth. Humans are experiencing a human reality. Dogs are experiencing a dog reality. Cats experiencing a cat reality. Insects an insect reality. Who is seeing reality correctly? No one. The nature of reality is pure consciousness. The nature of reality is screen. And however these entities that appear on the screen view reality, it's correct for them. The human experience is correct for humans. And like I said, for animals, it's correct for them. This is why the mind cannot understand reality. It's not well equipped. The best thing we can do is understand, in this movie screen example, my pure nature is the screen. God's pure nature is the screen. But at the level of the movie, what should we do? This little character should love, serve, devote to the big entity God. And what does that do? Taking it away from this screen example, in our daily life, we can understand oneness. We can understand how we're Brahman. Our true self is pure consciousness, and God's true self is pure consciousness. But what's the point of just understanding that if we don't feel it? How do we feel oneness? It's through the path of love. Feeling love equals feeling oneness. So remember, if this is the one appearing separate, why are you hating others? Why are you desiring others? It's the same fabric. Why are you avoiding the fabric you're made from here and desiring the fabric you're made from there? It's because we intellectually understand this, but we don't feel it. So how do we get rid of all these feelings of desire, hatred, separation? Love. We direct as much love as we can as this limited entity towards a higher power. Over time, that love grows. Over time, that love becomes boundless. You start realizing to love God is to love this reality. To serve others, to devote to others, to be patient, non-reactive, is to love, serve, and be non-reactive to God. And ultimately, in the final conclusion, you realize to love God is to love yourself, and to love yourself is to love God. True self-love is the love of God. And that's where the boundaries on a feeling level dissolve. So you understand oneness and you feel oneness while the appearance continues. Because out of the two, what do we truly want? We want to feel love, peace, and happiness. Who cares how much knowledge we know? If we feel miserable, if we're full of desires, what's the point? Now you might say, why even go down this path of non-duality? Why not just ignore all this and go to the God part? Because most people don't have a faith. If you are full of faith and love and devotion to a God, 100% you're blessed. Someone like me, very skeptical, had a thinking and overthinking mind. But going down the path of non-duality, truly studying it, made my intellect realize, holy crap, I understand how it's one. I understand how I can't get to the ultimate reality through thinking. It has to be a felt experience. So things like love, devotion, meditation, gets rid of this thinking mind, makes the mind selfless. In meditation, you sink below the thinking mind, and God is a felt experience. To feel oneness, you can't get there through thinking. So again, what do they recommend? Understand how the nature of reality is one. How you and God are one and the same fabric. You're both a Brahman, but at the level of the person, of the level of the movie character, you need to serve this God. Surrender, submit to it until you feel selfless love for God and all reality, and then it's complete. Hope this video helps. Take care.